Professors should not fear for their careers simply because they hold differing views. Professors should not fear for their jobs simply because they speak to a conservative group or simply because they express views that the administration doesn't like.
We interact, we challenge, we question. And to be in a situation where one can't do that or is told you cannot think that, you cannot say that, is a death knell really for academic work.
A child psychiatrist fired by the University of Louisville after criticizing gender therapy, now getting a $1.6 million settlement. Let's bring in Dr. Alan Josephson and Alliance Defending Freedom Senior Counsel Tyson Langhofer. Gentlemen, thank you both. Dr. Josephson, to you, congratulations. You said part of this in your statement, quoting here, "Children deserve better than life-altering procedures that mutilate their bodies and destroy their ability to lead fulfilling lives." And I would ask you, doctors, after all that you have been through, do you believe that you have at least made people kind of take a step back and think about what's going on?
I hope that's what's happened, Trace. This is such an amazingly kind of absurd notion that has grabbed hold of our nation. I just hope a few of us have been shaken by this. And certainly victories like myself can go a long way, I think, to do that.
Yeah, to me, it's interesting because, Tyson Langhofer, to you, Jamie Reed, who blew the whistle on medical misconduct regarding trans care, he said the following, quoting here, "These kinds of one-off legal wins," speaking about this victory that you have right here, "are hugely important, but I don't see that we are at a position yet where the United States has actually come to face the fact that damage is being done. Half of our states are still doing this to children." I mean, what he's saying is the fight must go on. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. But, you know, Dr. Josephson's story is really a story about how gender ideology engulfed America, but it's also a story about how we can defeat it. Dr. Josephson was one of the most well-respected voices on this issue, yet the University of Louisville shut him down to push an agenda. Science advances through debate, not through shutting down experts who dare to question the narrative. Thankfully, the First Amendment prohibits the government from doing just that, and that's why we were able to prevail here.
You know, it's interesting that Tyson says that university kind of turned on you, and I'm wondering, to you, Dr. Josephson, what was the worst thing? Was it the university kind of turning on you, or was it your colleagues that came out and spoke out against you that kind of turned on you? What was the hardest to take?
Well, I think the personal is always the hardest. I had people that were part of my group, my colleagues, stop talking to me. I mean, it was just the most amazing thing, and it became personal when really I was just trying to make a scientific clinical point. And nobody came to talk to me about it. Like, nobody even asked me, what is your view on this? They just assumed the worst, I think.
Yeah. And now, have you heard from any of them now? Have you gotten some vindication from at least your colleagues? Somebody said, maybe we should have taken a step back and thought about this, doctor.
Interestingly enough, I have not. I've had tremendous outpouring of input from friends across the country, really. I knew you were right all along type statements, but not people that I worked with. No, they're hiding.
Yeah, that's too bad. Tyson, do you think in 100 years we're going to look back on this transgender care, on these transgender surgeries, like we have looked back on some very skeptical things in the past with medical history?
I absolutely do. I mean, as Dr. Josephson has indicated, this science, so-called science that's being pushed is contrary to all evidence we have, and it's just contrary to common sense. We know that children can't change their sex simply by taking these hormones, and they're doing irreversible damage. And I'm so thankful that there's people like Dr. Josephson who are willing to speak the truth and who are willing to speak up for these children who really don't have another voice.
Yeah, I'm just going to give you 15 more seconds, Dr. Josephson, to give us, to wrap this up. What's the thing that you want people to take away from this? Not just the $1.6 million. What's the thing? What's the message you want to go out there?
Just have the courage to stand up when people are saying things that are just not true. It was clear that this thing was not true to me. There was no medical evidence, but people cowered. And I would encourage people to just stand up and be strong and get friends, get colleagues so that you can get some support from them as well.
Yep, it's good advice. Dr. Alan Josephson, Tyson Langhofer. Gentlemen, thank you both.